تمام. طيب الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. As I mentioned, the knowledge of hadith, مصطلح hadith is important to review. طيب عليكم السلام. To review, and also it is good to practice. And what is the way to practice? يعني check the books, because many times the brothers or the sisters, they read the books but they don't check the footnotes, because مصطلح you'll find مصطلح hadith in the footnotes. Down at the bottom of the page you'll find the مصطلح hadith. You'll find this hadith narrated by Tirmidhi, this hadith Bukhari, this is mutawatir, this is munqati, mursal, authentic, not authentic. The problem, most of the people maybe don't care about what is down. They read the page. Okay? This is very, very important. Why? Because suppose the author because some of them, they write the hadith, but they don't mention this is not authentic. They mention in the footnotes. Okay? So maybe nowadays, if you are writing a book, okay, make sure that people are not educated enough to check the footnote. So don't mention the not authentic hadith, or if you like to mention it is not authentic, mention it before the hadith. And it is mentioned in the not authentic hadith this and this. Okay? So be careful. Don't say, well, I mentioned this and that's it. They should understand, they should check. Also, I have to be careful. Like the doctor, okay? If I am a doctor, I give you the medicine, خلاص, yalla, this is your medicine. Habibi, I should inform you, this medicine should be taken twice a day, after the meal, before the meal, with water, without water. Everything is mentioned. Okay, everything is mentioned. But this is my duty. I am a doctor. And you are the patient. You are not a medical person to check everything. This is what they taught us in medicine. This is our duty as doctors, to teach people how to use the medicine, or the pharmacist. Don't say, well, everything is written. This is not enough. Why? Because people are not responsible to read everything. And the same thing, if I am a scholar, if I am author of a book, I should clarify everything for people. I should make it easy for people. My book is for talib ilm, for people who are specialized, okay. But if my book is about seerah, okay, if it is about seerah, about the stories of the prophets, alayhi salatu wassalam, so everyone is reading this book. Young people, old people, men, women, educated, not educated, Muslims, non-Muslims maybe. So I should prepare it for the target who are reading it. Okay? So if you remember, we mentioned hadith mutawatir and ahad. And if you remember, mutawatir, it means ما رواه جمع عن جمع. It was narrated, many people, then conveyed to many people. What is the meaning of many people? Some scholars said 10 and more. 10 and more. And the other type, ahad. And ahad has 3 types. Gharib, Aziz. What is the third one? Who? Huh? Ma'ruf? Mashhur. Mashhur. Okay? Mashhur. The ahad, and I emphasize this point many times. Ahad, it doesn't mean wahid. Because some people misguide. Some da'iyah misguide people. When they mention ahad, they want people to understand ahad means 1. No. Here it doesn't mean 1. It can mean 9, because if you remember mashhur can be from 3 to 9. 3 to 9 people. Aziz, 2. Gharib, 1. Okay? So these are the types of hadith. Mutawatir, ahad. Ahad, mashhur, aziz, gharib. طيب. Okay, and what is this maqtu' mawquf? What is missing here? Maqtu' related to tabi'i. Mawquf related to sahabi. And what is missing? Marfu', yes, we have marfu'. Marfu' means it is related to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? And also there is Qudsi. Qudsi by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hadith Qudsi. It is not Quran, it's Hadith Qudsi. And the scholars mention the difference between Quran and Hadith Qudsi. طيب. The types of hadith also, I mean different categorization. They mention hadith sahih, لذاته, authentic by its own. Sorry, by my handwriting. You can understand. This the types of hadith. Sahih لذاته. So this hadith is authentic by itself. What do they mean by itself? If you remember, maybe the first halqa, we mentioned the conditions of the hadith sahih. Do you remember the conditions? When the hadith is authentic? Chain? Huh? What is مثلا? What is the condition? Huh? If you remember, we mentioned there are 5 conditions to decide this hadith is authentic or not. Okay. طيب. There should be chain, and this chain should be connected. Okay. Not علة. What does it mean علة? No hidden defect. Not shadh. Yes, the narrator should be adl ضابط. Let's say good narrator. When we say good narrator, it means good memory and adl. He's a good person. Justice. اللي هو طيب. So these are the 5 conditions. أولها الصحة وما اتصل، إسناده ولم يشد أو يعل بنقل عدل ضابط عن مثله، معتمد بنقله وضبطه. So to decide this chain is authentic, there should be a chain and it is connected. Okay. يعني it is not مقطوع, it is not mursal, it is not موقوف. Okay. And also the narrators should be 2 points. عدل وضابط. What's mean عدل? He's a good Muslim. He's obedient. He's not فاسق. The memory also should be okay. They said تام الضبط. What's mean تام الضبط? His memory is perfect. يعني for example, if he narrates 100 hadith, maybe he has a mistake on hadith. So we consider he's perfect. يعني the mistake is 1%, he is perfect. طيب. And there should not be a hidden defect. Okay, this is a big subject, hidden defect. يعني how to decide there is a hidden defect. Okay, the great scholars يعني decide this, like Daraqutni, Imam Ahmed, Bukhari. And also it should not be shadh. What is the meaning of shadh? شاذ, they say مخالفة الثقة لمن أوثق منه. When the good narrator, when he is contradicting another one who is stronger than him. يعني for example, who's stronger, Bukhari or Tirmidhi in the hadith? Both of them are ثقة. They are good, the best narrators, ruwah. But everyone agrees that Bukhari is stronger. So if Tirmidhi narrates a hadith different, contradicting the Bukhari, so which one should we say? We cannot join them. We cannot take both of them. We have to choose one of them. So which one we choose? Bukhari. So now the narration of Tirmidhi is called Shadh. So if you consider Tirmidhi alone, oh no, this is authentic. It is sound. It's okay. But I tell you, but al-Bukhari narrated something contradicting Tirmidhi. There is one word, maybe not the full hadith, only one word. Sorry, we'll tell Tirmidhi, your narration is Shadh. We'll not take it, but we'll take al-Bukhari. So this is the meaning of Shadh. Or sometimes it is not one by one. Maybe Imam Muslim, one of the great scholars, he is Jabal. He's like a mountain. Suppose he narrates a hadith and he mentioned a word in this hadith. On the other side, we have Bukhari, Muslim, I will not mention Bukhari. We have Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Imam Ahmad, Ibn Majah, Ad-Darimi, At-Tabarani, At-Tabari, 10 scholars. All of them, they narrate the same hadith except this word. They don't agree with the Muslim in this word. So which one we take? We take the 10 scholars. Okay, Muslim is great scholar, but we tell them sorry. In this word, we'll take the narration of the 10 scholars. So his narration, Imam Muslim is Shadh. His narration is Shadh. Why? Because plenty of scholars opposed him. Okay?
Yes, it not necessarily means contradicting information, right? Like the other day you said
it depends. Some scholars consider this as contradiction. Some scholars said, no, we can accept.
It's a deviation, a small.
Hmm?
You say deviation? Or?
No, the point is, we mentioned hadith. We gave an example of Shadh. There is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ was raising his finger during the tahiyyat. At-tahiyyatu lillahi wa salatu wa tayyibat. Okay? So we agree that, or the narrators agree that he raised his finger. He raised his finger. This is agreed upon. Okay. Now, all the narrators, or there are, let's say, 10 scholars narrate hadith from one sheikh. 9 of them said the Prophet ﷺ raised his finger. One of the 10, only one of the 10, said he raised and moved. So he added what? Moving. Okay? So some scholars consider, they say, no, this is Shadh. Why? Because 9 of them did not mention the moving. They said also he raised his finger. Other scholars said, no, this is not Shadh. Why? He said, because he added something not contradicting. He raised the finger and he moved the finger. So this is okay, no problem. So for some scholars consider this is Shadh. They say because he added something not mentioned by 9 of the people who attended the same lecture. Some scholars consider this as Shadh. Some scholars consider it as contradicting. But some scholars say, no, this is okay.
So in this case, it's better we don't.
It depends what is your manhaj. Study, then decide. So, yeah, like Sheikh Al-Albani, he said, this is okay. This is okay. Moving, yes. Because he did not add something opposite. He added something to the meaning, yani. It goes with the hadith. It doesn't contradict the meaning. It's okay. طيب? طيب? So these are the conditions of the authentic hadith. طيب. So it is called صحيح لذاته. So it is authentic by itself. If you fulfill the conditions.
These rules kept by Imam Bukhari are
No, general يعني not the earlier scholars, the late, like Ibn Hajar and the others, they mention this. This.
the hadith to be sahih.
Mm.
Each Imam have their own rules.
We'll not say each Imam has his own rules, but generally they agree on these rules. Generally. Yes, يعني maybe some of them about the connected chain, they have their own opinion about the mursal. Because what does mean mursal? When the tabi'i says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So there is something missing. We don't know who is missing. It is only companion and tabi'i, Allah alam. So they consider, if the tabi'i is a great scholar, we'll take him. We consider him. But generally, these are the rules. Okay? So this is authentic by itself. Now, about the fifth one. If the scholars are good or perfect in their memory, and they are justice. If the memory is not perfect, they said, تام الضبط means perfect. If he is خفيف الضبط, what does mean خفيف الضبط? يعني his memory is okay, but he's not perfect. He's not 99%. He is 90%, his memory. Yeah, for example, if he narrates 100 hadith, he will give you 10 mistakes or 9 mistakes. So we say he is not perfect as a memory, but he is okay. Then the hadith will not be called sahih, it is called hasan. It is hasan لذاته. I have a problem in writing Arabic also. Because no school. طيب. So it is called حسن لذاته. Okay? حسن لذاته if there is, I will not say if there is a problem in the memory, if the memory is not perfect, but it is acceptable, this is okay. So this is called حسن لذاته. So they say ما اتصل سنده بنقل العدل الخفيف الضبط. الحسن, it has chain, connected, no hidden defect, it is not shad, and it is conducted by narrator whose justice and his memory less than perfect. Not perfect, less than perfect. This is called Hasan. This is called Hasan. Okay? It should be connected. For the Hasan, it should be connected. If it is not connected, it is not authentic.
The chain.
The chain, yes, the chain.
What we wrote was chain.
There should be a chain. There should be a sanad. The authentic hadith, it should be by sanad. Okay?
There is one rule, the rawat should meet each other.
Mm.
The whole term is five.
This is the meaning of connected. This meaning of connected. And also, should they meet or only to live in the same period? Imam Muslim said, it's enough for me if they live in the same time. But our scholar said, no, you have to prove that they met. Okay, we live in the same time, but I'm Kuwait and you are in India. Imam Muslim, no. He said it is enough. Maybe they met in Hajj, in Umrah. They visit each other. Okay. So if there is less memory, not perfect, so we call it Hasan li dhatihi. It is Hasan li dhatihi by itself. طيب. If the hadith, you have one hadith, you have hadith and you have chain, and this chain is Hasan. Then you have another chain for the same hadith. You have another chain for the same hadith. And you have also the second chain, also Hasan, lidati. Then the third, the fourth, you have maybe 4 or 5 different chains. And all of them Hasan lidati, Hasan lidat Hasan. Then we say the hadith is Sahih لغيره. It is Sahih لغيره. It is authentic by others, not by itself. It is Sahih by others. Of course, which is higher, Sahih or Hasan? Sahih. So this is upgrade. Because it is Hasan from this side, this side, this side, then we say this is Sahih لغيره. طيب. The last point. If there is a problem in the conditions, like what? His memory, maybe in the chain, one of the narrators is not good in his memory. Maybe 60, the mistakes 40% or 50% mistakes in his hadith. Then we say this chain is ضعيف. Okay? So suppose, generally speaking, if you miss one of the conditions, then this is not authentic hadith. Okay? So let's take that. If there is a problem with the memory of the narrator, he is just as good man, he is imam, but he has a problem in the narrator, in the memory. Again, you have another chain. All the conditions are okay except the last one, his memory also not good. 50%. Then you have a third, a fourth, a fifth. You have 6, 7 chains. All of them alone not authentic because the memory. Then we say this hadith is Hasan لغيره. If you study every single chain, you say this is not authentic chain. Why? Because one of the narrator, his memory is not good, 50%. But I'll tell you, but I have this chain, second, third, fourth. I have 5 or 6 chains. All of them, they fulfill the conditions except the last one. 50% his memory is not good. We say, but if we have plenty of chains for the same hadith, then we say, this is acceptable hadith, and we call it Hasan لغيره. It is acceptable because of the other chains. It is Hasan because of the others. Okay? And maybe some scholars say this is the most difficult one. Okay? To decide to upgrade the hadith from ضعيف to acceptable.
This all chains for Hasan لغيره, they all have the same memory problem, or only one chain is having the right problem?
All of them. Because if the others are okay, then I will say it is Hasan lidatihi.
No, I thought one is.
No, all the chains. Suppose you have 5 chains, and all of them have, of course, not the same man. It should be a different man. And all of them have a problem with this point. I mean the memory.
Only this.
Yes. Sorry, يعني my example, the memory. But maybe one of the chains, the first chain, one of the narrators has a problem in his memory. The second chain has a problem in the connection. It is munqati' maybe. Okay? And the second also munqati'. We will not say shad. Okay, we will not say shad. Okay, but maybe mursal. It is mursal. Okay, so at the end, the scholars of hadith will decide: can we say this is hasan لغيره or not? Or maybe it can be صحيح لغيره. You can upgrade it to صحيح لغيره. Or maybe متواتر. Okay, يعني for example, حديث الأذنان من الرأس. In the wudu chapter, in the purity, chapter of purity, there is hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, الأذنان من الرأس. The ears are part of the head. Shaykh Albani said this is mutawatir. Why? Because there are many chains for this hadith. Some scholars said, no, this is not authentic hadith. So some scholars said, this is not authentic. And he said, this is mutawatir. Okay. So according to his opinion, he said, I have plenty of chains, maybe 12, 14. Yes, all of them has a problem, the memory maybe and the connection. But he said, I consider all of them. So definitely, this is a hadith from Rasulullah. And this is mutawatir. I mean, I'm giving you the basics, but to decide this is authentic, not authentic, hasan لغيره, hasan لذاته, it is not easy. I mean, especially hasan لغيره. Not easy. Why? Because you have different chains which are not authentic. Then when we can decide it is hasan لغيره or not. Okay? And of course, they say when the narrator should not be a very bad man. We are talking about a good man, but he has a problem in the memory. Little problem. Okay?
So this is Hassan Laghairi.
Shaykh Al-Albani said mutawatir.
So what is the ruling that is okay?
He's authentic. Yes. It is not only Hasan لغيره, it is not only Sahih لغيره, this is mutawatir. A lot of chains. Okay? جزاكم الله خير.
It has a higher degree than Sahih.
Yes. Yes.
Higher than Sahih is up.
So highest is Qudsi. Highest is Qudsi. Like
This is different categorization about the name, not about the authenticity. About the name, we have Hadith Qudsi, Hadith Nabawi, Marfu', Mawquf, Maqtu'. We are not talking here about the authentic, not authentic. The names. Okay? جزاكم الله خيرا.